Is it
But
just gonna be us, or is Try gonna join us?
yeah, it's just gonna be us because Try's already doing a stream right now.
Oh,
Shout
okay,
out.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what.
I'll be. Yeah, I'll be totally honest. I have not listened to this album in a very long time. The last time I heard this album, my mom was playing it back when this album I think dropped and was real popular. Like what, 99 going into the year 2000.
Right,
Yeah, so I was like 5, not even 6 when this album dropped, man.
man. This album, when I, it's like that song I heard that everywhere and stuff like that at
Yeah,
one
I
point.
think that, yeah, that was what did it. Between that and Incomplete, I kept hearing those songs the most because I think I heard the thong song either for the first time, either on the radio back during my daycare days or on a field trip to the skating rink. One of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was one of the two. One of the two. So yeah, I got mixed feelings about this album too, especially all these years later.
Honestly, all I'm gonna say is I actually like it more, but there's some things I do have to critique.
Yes, yes. I was just about to say. I mean, it's not a terrible album. It's just I got to voice my concerns and whatnot on this thing.
Right. I swear, all week it's been people talking about this whole Megan Thee Stallion, Clay Thompson. I'm just like, who cares?
People break up all the time. It just didn't work. It is what it is. Like, move the fuck on. I mean, if she can move on and he can move on, why not the rest of the world? I mean, damn.
Mm. Talking about, oh well, all the men, if you agree with what Clay did, and that means you're a cheater too. No, half of y'all motherfucker be cheating. That's the thing.
Y'all a bunch of hypocrites. I mean, y'all want to point him out because he's big athlete in his sport. I mean, he ain't the first athlete that been caught up in some cheating shit,
Exactly.
and he ain't gonna be the last. So, like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all sounding goofy. I really didn't care at that point. I mean, I'm not invested in people's like relationships like that, like a whole bunch of people with the fandom and things. I mean,
Me neither.
it's just more publicized and out in the open because they're figures in either sports, entertainment, film, TV, or whatever avenue that their career is in.
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're human just like us. They're just always critiqued under a microscope. That's the only difference between them and everyday people like you and me.
And the thing about it is like you see a lot of these channels now that used to be talking about, like comedy hype for instance. It's like
Yeah,
when that
they used to
YouTube channel
talk.
first came out, it was talking about like black comedy, stand up
Yeah,
comedians. Now they barely talk about comedy anymore. It's like they just talk
yeah. I
about
was just about to say I
social
can't remember
media
the
shit.
last time. Yeah, I sometimes get notifications from their YouTube channel on my phone, and I'm like, I can't remember the last thing related to comedy that they came out with, except for what Chris Tucker and Mike Epps like squashing all these so-called rumors that there was like a comedy beef between the two of them,
Exactly.
and that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because like when it first came out, they were talking about
I
like
was all
black
for it. Yeah,
sitcoms,
but
black
now they turned into
movies.
hype news now, and they just talking about any and everything under the sun.
And you know what's funny? They even did a video talking about what happened to comedy hype on their own channel. I'm like, wow, that's fun. How you talk
Oh
about what happened to your
wow!
own channel on your own channel? That's hilarious,
Not a lot of people would do that though.
right?
I give them that. I give them credit for that.
But yeah, Q asked you, what do you think about the Michael Jackson movie if you've seen it?
I have not seen it yet, but I know I've been hearing like on Facebook and everywhere else on social media that they enjoyed seeing it. I know some people in my family in Georgia. My sister and two of my nieces went to see it with their with some people out there, and they loved it. I mean, they even took a picture outside the movie theater they went to, outside with the movie poster of it. Like I know you went to see it like literally when it first like dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, cuz I the last time I went to see a movie that dropped on its release date was, oh god, like 8 years ago.
And what movie was that?
The first Black Panther.
I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one, and when Justice League came out.
Shit.
Yeah, but I got the director's cut of that movie as well as the 2.5 hour version of it. But I have yet to watch the director's cut of Justice League because that thing is 4 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they it's named the Zack Snyder presents Justice League, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, because he was the original director for Justice League, but he dealt with like a family death in the family, so he kind of stepped away from the project, and someone else took over for it.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely
But
gotta be watching the movie.
yeah, but for Zack Snyder's version to be 4 hours, I'm like, how much unused material did he have for it to be that long?
Shit.
Could you imagine
Imagine.
having to sit in the theater for 4 hours just to watch a movie?
I mean, people did that when Malcolm X came out. That was almost 3.5 hours.
Yeah, yeah, but that was a autobiographical piece.
True.
But this here we're talking DC Comics and superhero film. Like, cause I know my mom and I we watched the 2.5 hour Justice League, but we haven't watched the 4 hour one. And I'd be asking her like, do you really want to sit down and watch a 4 hour movie? But she'd be telling me, if we watch it, we gonna have to watch it like the first 2.5 hours one day, and then the other 2 hours the next day, because she don't know she'll be able to stay awake to watch a 4 hour film.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how they did back when we were in school. If it was a movie, they would let us watch like an hour of the movie, then save it for the next day and some shit like that too. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. All right. Let's start right now. Let's start with this review. What's up, YouTube? How's y'all doing? It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my homegirl Ash in the building with me.
That's good.
First lady. All right, we still in the Drew Hill side of things, and we are going to take a detour from this group albums and talk about Sisqo's solo album, Unleash the Dragon. This
Mm-hmm.
album came out literally at the tail end of 1999, November 30th, and stuff like that too.
Mm.
This came out on Def Soul Records, which you guys should know is the R&B subsidiary of Def Jam, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It came out with 4 singles: "Gotta Get It," "Thong Song," "Incomplete," and "Unleash the Dragon." Producers include Tim and Bob, Warren Campbell, Al West, Baby Dave, Nokio, One Up, Entertainment, the co-stars, excuse me, Shep Crawford, Drew Hill, Dutch, N.A., and Kale. Guest appearances include Beanie Siegel, Make It Hot, Love Her, um, Drew Hill, even though it was like a song under, well, 2 songs under Drew Hill and Ja Rule.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so by this time, Drew Hill had already dropped the self-titled album and Entered the Drew,
Mm-hmm.
both albums being, in my opinion, classics. In my opinion, probably the second album is my favorite one from them. But around the time after the second album, they were kind of going through some internal tension with their record label, as well as beginning with themselves and everything. Like you guys, if you guys remember the review we did on Enter the Drew, there was an incident when they got into it with the head of their record label. They had a lawsuit because I want to say one of the members hit one of the label executives with a pool cue and some
Mm.
shit like that too. So that was a lawsuit going on. But then around the time Enter Drew came out and stuff, around that time, Polygram Records was actually being acquired by Seagram. And so that meant that it was going to be under the Universal Music Group and everything like that too. So with that being said, Island Black Music that actually folded, and that's why Drew Hill moved to the Def Soul R&B subsidiary. And if you guys know about Def Soul, you would know that label not had people like Montel Jordan, Case, Kelly Price. You know what I'm saying? Kelly Price's first album, classic album. I don't give a fuck what no one say. Um, who else? Who else? You got people like Playa. You know, rest in peace. Static Major. You know, just to name a few people and everything like that too. Um, but I think like Drew Hill were like the best known people from that Def Soul lineup, if you ask me. And so around that time and everything like that too, you know, they um they actually also got into some issues because there was a shooting when they had a concert in Paris, and
Mm.
this led to Woody temporarily leaving the group and everything. And also, what also happened was the fact that they were invited to do a guest appearance on the title track to Will Smith's Wild Wild West, which is a cover of Kool Mo D's song of the same name.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be real with you. I've never liked Will Smith's version. I've never liked that version. I've never cared for the movie, to be real with you. I always thought that was like, I hate to say it, Will Smith's first bad movie. I hate to say it. The original Wild Wild West, the song itself by Kumo
Mm.
D, was a classic. It was a banger. Like it was a more serious song talking about the ill wills of his environment. Will
Mm.
Smith just made it a party anthem, and then you had Sisqo interpolating Stevie Wonder's "I Wish."
Mm.
But here's the thing, though: the way how they did the track, it was like more Cisco, and then the group was being in the sideline and everything like that
Yeah,
too.
yeah, cause I was just about to. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned it, cause I remember that song being out everywhere at that time, and
Right.
the movie. But yeah, I didn't care too much for that movie either. That was terrible.
Yeah.
And I know my dad, he liked that song, Will Smith's version of Wild Wild West. But when you hear the chorus, all you really hear is Cisco's like, "Where's the rest of the Drew Hill?" Because if that was the case, it would have just been Will Smith and Cisco versus Will Smith featuring Drew Hill. To be honest with you,
Right.
that's what I thought of all these years.
And, and you know what's funny, Ashley?
Yeah.
Around this time, a lot of labels was doing this practice and everything like that too. Hold on one second.
Mm.
So you notice how like a lot of these groups and everything. Oh, what's up, Mark? I didn't even see you. A lot of these groups at that time, when
Mhm.
they had like a boy band or a girl band or whatever, the first two albums
Yeah.
will be all the group. That if you notice around the second or third album, they emphasize on that one member of the group, and then they
Yeah.
do some. They do like they have that one solo member do like a soundtrack song,
Mhm.
or most half the songs they'll be all solo. So this was pretty much Cisco's warm up season. That Wild Wild West was
Mhm.
Cisco's warm up season and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And think about like all your favorite group, like Destiny's Child. Even though
Yeah.
Destiny's Child is much more different, or NSYNC when Justin was did that song with Janet and everything. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So like think about like your favorite groups back in like the
Mhm.
90s and the 2000s. Their
Mhm.
first album, they were all having a good time. Then the second album, they emphasize on one member. And
Mhm.
then the third album is where they have some issues. And let's just say the third album gets delayed. They'll come up with like
Yeah.
a Christmas album, maybe a remix album just to
Yeah.
satisfy. Think
Yep.
about all your favorite groups at that
All the
time,
time this was
all the
happening.
time,
Yeah.
all the time.
You're like,
Destiny's
what is
Child,
going on?
Escape, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. You know what I'm saying? They always had
Mhm.
that same formula. That woman, hell, Escape. Their second
Mhm.
album, Off the Hook.
Mm-hmm.
People thought Latasha or whatever her name was going to have that solo album and everything. I watched that unsung episode and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I watched Escape's unsung episode. I even watched Drew Hill's unsung.
Exactly. Hell, SWV. People forget they temporarily
Yep.
broke up after the first album before the second album because they were trying to emphasize a lot more on Coco and shit. Y'all forget.
Yeah, versus Lily or Taj.
Hell, that's why the new beginning. That's my favorite SWV album because all the members was all in
Got their
sync with one
chance
another.
to shine, really.
Yeah, I love It's About Time. I love that album, but
Mm-hmm.
the thing with that album, that was like the R&B equivalent to Tribe Called Quest, People's Instinctive
Mm-hmm.
Travels and Paths. Because again, love that album. That's a classic album, but it was mostly
Mm-hmm.
Q-Tip on like 60 to 70% of the album and everything. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the impact the album came, that's still a
Mm-hmm.
classic album. I don't give a fuck, but it's just I know why people. I'm not gonna get mad when people consider Low End Theory their true breakthrough. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Incomplete Mark. That we're gonna talk about that one. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. So around that time, Drew Hill and like I mentioned, they were all supposed to come out with solo albums. Jazz's solo album got shelved. Nokia was focusing on being a producer. At that time, he
Mm-hmm.
was pretty big with the DMX. He produced for
Mm-hmm.
DMX, Rough Riders, especially that song "What These Bitches Want."
Mm.
And
And Woody.
Woody, yeah. Of course, Woody left the group. He was supposed to came out with if I'm not mistaken, a gospel album, but
Yeah, yeah,
shelved
yeah.
that. They shelved that too. Which, if you want me to be honest, I feel like that was their intention the whole time. They were banking on that Sisqo solo album. They were banking on that shit.
Yeah, but it was like, listen, like Drew Hill was a four-man group. Why not put like emphasis and attention on all the guys' individual solo projects instead of just one guy out of the group? That's what I
Yeah.
don't get.
One thing I would say about Matthew Knowles and shit like that. One thing, at least he did let people always say, "Oh, he focused a lot on Beyonce and everything," but he did let
Well,
Kelly have
that's
his
his
shine
daughter.
too. Right. But here's the thing. He did let Kelly have his shine because Kelly was on that
Mhm.
Nelly song Dilemma. That was a
Mhm.
big song. If I'm not mistaken, that
Mhm.
got Grammy nominated and
Yeah.
everything like that too. But then they rushed to drop her first solo album back in
Yeah,
'02.
yeah, I felt that was where they messed up because I love
Yeah.
her first album too.
Honestly, a lot of people say that's ahead of its time because she was doing some house shit, like some house
Yes,
music kind
yes,
of
it
shit.
was. Yeah, especially during the early 2000s.
Right. And then far down the line, ironically, Beyonce, when she get at with Act One, that was a more house album too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the irony right there.
I know
Uh,
Kelly did it before B, so
Kelly did it before Beat, yes.
yeah, exactly. That's why I felt like her album, Kelly's first album, didn't get a lot of attention because everywhere you turned on the radio, you kept hearing Dilemma all the time, and she had a lot of other songs that were really good off that album. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I gotta re-listen to that album to be real with
Yeah, I
you. I
haven't
gotta
listened to that album in years.
definitely. But yeah, so Cisco's album came out in the tail end of '99 and stuff like that too. And with that being said, this of course had the whole Y2K because the
Yeah.
whole Y2K theme, the futuristic theme,
Mm-hmm.
which
Everyone was
you got
doing it. Everybody was
everyone was
doing it.
doing that. Like TLC, of course, the fan
Mm-hmm.
mail album, which
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I don't love it. I like it and stuff like that too because y'all checked the review we did, but
Yeah, yeah. We did the review years ago, so.
right. But this is the album cover right here from Unleash the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
He's dressed in all red. He got the
Mm-hmm.
signature hairstyle and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this was definitely his popular style and everything. Kind of shiny suit esque, if you ask me. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, um, so like I said, I already talked about the singles, producers. So yeah, let's get started with the album. So the first track on this album is called "Alicia Dragon" featuring Beanie Siegel. Very dope song. Nice way to kick off the album and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? This definitely had Cisco doing his dragon alter ego symbolism, whatever you want to call it. Beanie Siegel, this was like around the time he was first coming out and everything. He did his thing here. But to be real with you, what a lot of people don't know was that there was a music video for this song, but it actually got shelved. And I'm gonna be real with you, I'm kind of glad it got shelved because it's kind of a cheesy, corny music video and everything like that too. Like he's fighting a dragon, and then he's getting all these like I'm gonna actually post the video on the comment section and shit because it's one of those videos you have to see to believe and everything like that too. So the song itself, I like the song. The song is definitely dope, but the video is just but yeah.
Unleash the Dragon. Yeah, I like the song too. I had no idea this was even a single, let alone there was a video for it because I don't remember hearing it getting played on the radio. Like for it to be the title track for the album,
Right.
like you would not have known that. And I really did not know a video existed until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, I really did not know till I was on Reddit and everything.
mm, who knew? Like, yeah, this is an incredibly dope song. But I feel like some of the songs that they listed that were singles back then, like if they would have played this song more on the radio instead of constantly playing Thong Song or Incomplete, I mean, I feel like you would get more of a response from listeners for it.
Right. I definitely understand your point about that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when it came to like thong song, they definitely, and I'm gonna get
Hmm.
more into that. They definitely banked that. They banked on
Yeah.
that song.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But for the R&B crowd, they banked on incomplete, which I'll get more into those songs in a minute. To be real with you, because I know thong song came out in the tail end of like '99. Because I know Wikipedia said it came out February. I don't, nah, it didn't come out February of 2000. Because that literally came out like in the tail end of '99 and shit. But
Yeah,
again,
I was about to say it came out the day after Valentine's Day in the year 2000. I'm like, really?
yeah, they'll just post anything on Wikipedia. But
Mm,
like it may have came out in the tail end of '99, but it really blew up in 2000 and shit. That makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah. All right. Track number two, "Gotta Get It," featuring Make It Hot. Um, for those who don't know, Make It Hot, he was an up and coming rapper and stuff like that that was under Cisco and Nokia. That's one thing I do have to give credit to Drew Hill. Like what I noticed by each of their albums, they're always bringing up somebody in like some prodigy and stuff like that too. Which
Mm,
I don't feel people give them a lot of credit for. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that time and stuff, because a lot of people at that time, it was just me, but they actually get credit and everything like that too. Even though I don't know too much about the Prodigies, I'm not the biggest Drew Hill expert, but
mm,
at the same time too, he did his thing on this one. I definitely felt like this song was definitely pretty straight. Just talking about how Cisco wants female affection and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I do have to say it's definitely one of I like when Cisco sings over these kind of instrumentals and everything like that too. Not the more extravagant stuff and everything, but because I always pick on Cisco, but I do feel like he's a good singer. It's just sometimes I just feel like, okay, nigga, you just doing too much. But he's not Wanye level. He's not Wanye level.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, got to get it. It wasn't a bad song, and I wasn't too familiar with Make It Hot because I mean, yeah, while everyone was off doing solo endeavors and things, and then you get an unknown group or an artist, I guess, under the wings of a veteran artist or group, and you try to get them to be well known as well. I mean, I have nothing against the song or whatever, but I feel like if you're trying to bring in new artists and things, I mean, yeah, that's one way to do it, but then at the same time, it's like you gotta really take time through like artist development and things like that to really groom or to maintain a group into what you want them to
right.
be. be like in the future, whether it be for a tour, radio appearances, TV appearances, and all that sort of thing. Because I feel like artist development is what's lacking in this day and age. To be honest with you, if you're getting new artists coming out left and right and they don't know how to present themselves in certain venues or interviews, whether it be radio, TV, podcasts, I mean anything.
I agree. I agree with you about that. And I personally feel that when it comes to like a lot of these artists today, you gotta remember a lot
Mm-hmm.
of these people today, they're getting their fame from TikTok and content creating and stuff,
Instagram and YouTube.
Instagram, YouTube, and you gotta also remember, and this is one thing I always respect about them. Most of them, most a key good amount either are independent or
Mm-hmm.
definitely have a backing. And I feel
Yeah.
like the pros and cons of independent artists, the cons are most of the cons of independent artists is that some of them don't always go through artist development.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't have the right people behind them.
Yeah. Yeah. That and they having to come out of pocket with everything. They're not
Right.
backed by major labels.
Trust me. I go through it too. Shit. Like but that's why it's funny too because whenever they do get in front of an interview and everything, let's just say they mostly comfortable like on those podcasts like like a Castanet or someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
They go like on the main TV and stuff like that. They
Yeah,
won't
like
know how to
prime time
always yeah,
television or
they
daytime TV.
they won't
Yeah.
know how to always react and everything. I hate
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but hey, fuck it. But yeah, Mark says Cisco was deaf a star. He was a prime example of a lead singing frontman. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing I would say he definitely is a show stealer and everything like that too. And you haven't really seen an R&B frontman like that in a while before Cisco because a
I
lot of those
know.
frontmen in R&B they were trying to really showcase more of their vocability, and they were sometimes scared to just go all out and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
I would say before Cisco, in my personal opinion, the last great R&B frontman, in my personal opinion, and this might be controversial, um, Aaron Hall from God.
Mm.
Aaron Hall from God, because if you watch a lot of those performances from like '88 to maybe '90, I would even throw in the New Jack City performance when they did that song New Jack City,
Mm-hmm.
New Jack whatever that song. Yeah, y'all New Jack City, the title track and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
the way how he commands the audience and everything. Then if you think to like other people like Casey and JoJo, Raphael
Mm-hmm.
Sadiq,
Mm-hmm.
um, Boys to Men, they were all from it. They all were trying to showcase vocally and everything. It's like they were trying to showcase more vocally and stuff like that. I would even throw in Lil G from Silk, who I feel like is
Mm.
very underrated, very underrated. But then when Cisco came out, he was dancing, he was doing backflips, he was
Yeah, he was in
he
a
was
he was in a
he
realm
was in a class
all
by
by
himself
himself.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually a very good point when you said front man, because when a great front man commands the stage, but a good vocalist always showcases their voice and everything. No,
Facts.
right? Hell, honestly, the women have more energy sometimes than the man. Because I mentioned Coco from Silk, I mean SWV,
Mm-hmm.
and then hell TLC,
Mm-hmm.
TLC and shit like that. If you watch some of their earlier performances, they
Mm-hmm.
definitely had like a Belle Biv DeVoe kind of choreography and style and everything. They were
Yeah.
even influenced by Belle Biv DeVoe too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I but yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Track number 3 is Love Enough featuring Love Her. Like I mentioned before, Love Her was the female group that was under the Def Soul label that was under Drew Hill.
Mm.
Um, this song was pretty cool. They definitely still had their Jodeci, the
Esque.
Jodeci esque. I actually wrote that too. Jodeci esque vibe with this one. Give
Yeah.
me Diary of a Madman, and it's no surprise because uh, Warren Campbell, Warren
Mm-hmm.
Campbell he produced this joint too. And Warren Campbell, he's known had to have a little funkiness to his production and everything like that too, because he worked with cats like DJ Quick and people like that too. That's really how he first started coming up and everything. But
Mm-hmm.
very, very, very dope track right here. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like this song fits more Drew Hill than Sisqo, in my personal opinion. But
Mm. Yeah, it's Love Enough. I mean, I wasn't familiar with the group Love Her until I looked on their Wikipedia page. I mean, I didn't even know that they were like in the music scene for like 8 years and
right,
all that. Yeah, yeah, but it was like, yeah, I agree with you that this song I feel like would have been more suited for Drew Hill versus just Sisqo by himself.
you're
And
right.
yeah, I feel like that's unfortunate. I think they kind of dropped the ball on that. But for the group Love Her, I mean, I never really knew what any of them looked like. I never even saw them do videos back then or anything. Like I didn't even see them like in magazines or anything like that. Like so I wouldn't even know what they even looked like or and then
Shit.
come to think of it, I don't even did they even drop any albums?
Let me double check. Hold on.
Now that we talking about this, because I'm getting the feeling like
Shelled.
I don't remember them having any albums back during that time.
You got shelled.
Oh, that explains it. Damn, that's a shame. Because it seemed like some artists or groups that have stuff to come out during that time, but they never did get released or the project just got shelved entirely. I mean, that's unfortunate and a disservice to not only that artist or group, but to potential fans that don't even know their work.
And I'm gonna be honest, Ashley. Def Jam at that time, they were known to shelve a lot of albums at that time,
Mm,
especially when it came to like up and coming artists, because Leo Corn, he was more folk. His main cash cow when it came to Def Jam was X, J, Ja Rule,
mm-hmm.
uh, Method Man, Redman. Those were like his cash cows. If you're talking about like 99, 2000,
Mm-hmm.
the R&B side of things, Drew Hill definitely, Drew Hill definitely was a cash cow for the R&B side of things. But
Mm-hmm.
if you look at like a lot of those Def Jam releases, or if you get them soundtracks, pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to when you go in the booklet. They will
Yeah.
have like upcoming releases. At least a good three of them are shelved
Yeah.
or got delayed and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. So I'm not surprised. And again, they would one thing they would do, they'll put them on a trial run. They'll put them on like
Mm.
a soundtrack placement because that Love Her, they were on the Rush Hour 2 soundtrack. And
Oh, I did
who was
not
doing
know
them
that.
soundtracks a lot? Yeah, Def Jam. Yeah. So it's all pretty much a game. Sometimes people get these proteges in the music business just as tax brackets and everything
Mm.
because it's a damn shame they don't know what to do with them and
Yeah.
everything. Like prime example, and me and Try were just talking about this. Like Alicia Keys, a lot of people
Mm.
don't know her first debut on Wax was on the Men in Black soundtrack,
Oh wow.
and she was under So So Def under Jermaine Dupri.
Mm.
And at that time, his he was focusing on like Escape because at that time Escape and then the Brat, and then he was just about
Mm.
to sign Bow Wow too. So
Oh wow.
Clive Davis picked her up, and the rest is history. You know,
Yeah.
and y'all might say shit about Clive Davis, but Clive
Mm.
Davis, when it comes to R&B, yeah, he especially at that time, yeah, he will know he will have you on lock and shit.
Mm.
But yeah, then we're gonna go to track number 4, Tonight Interlude, which I'm not really gonna say. It's just gonna lead up to the next song and everything.
Yeah.
Just a sex interlude and everything. Nothing really too much to say about that.
Yeah. And then too, you could hear Love Her singing in this too.
Right, definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know why they didn't like put their name in within that too. I mean, to give them credit on the album.
I guess because since they just did background vocals,
Oh,
That's why and everything. Whereas with It's Love Enough, they
mm,
had a more prominent part on that shit. So
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Moving on to track number 5, How Can I Love You Tonight?
Mm.
Hell, that even sounds like a Jodeci title. See, they can't even get away from their Jodeci influence, even if they
Yeah,
tried.
I feel like who has not been influenced by Jodeci? That's the real question.
Exactly.
It's
Like
like,
it's so
damn.
crazy. Um, yeah. This one was actually one of the best showcases of Cisco's voice, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Very seductive song about forbidden love and everything. You know what I'm saying? Very dope beat from Nokia. At this time, Nokia was in his fucking he was in his fucking bag at this time.
Mm-hmm.
He is so underrated as a producer. It's not even funny.
Facts. Yeah, how can I love you tonight? That I think this is one of like my favorite songs off the album, and the
Fact.
fact that Case had a role in what writing this song too, as well as Nokia producing the track. I mean, you can't get no better than that.
Right. I definitely have to agree with you on that. But yes, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Now we're gonna go into Your Love is Incredible. Um, this one was okay. I'm gonna be real with you. I mostly really like this song for the beat, to be
Mm-mm.
real.
Yeah,
Not a boring song, but it's just not really one of my cup of tea.
yeah. I get what you're saying. I feel the same way about this one as well because to me it's like it wasn't terrible. It was like it was alright, and then too, I think from like with the chorus and everything in it, I kind of. I somewhat kind of got it confused with the next one that we're going to because it's like it feels like it's
Right.
saying pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. Which leads us into the next song, So Sexual. One
Mm-hmm.
of my favorite songs on this album, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This song, um, definitely show is one of Cisco's best songs and everything. The way he delivered a lot of these lyrics and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Very freaky song, but at the same time, very sensual song. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying? I kind of wish this was a single, like Quiet Storm kind of single, but to each his own. And it's crazy too because ironically, Babyface is one of the songwriters in this, so you can definitely tell.
I just
Yeah,
noticed that. Yep. Yeah. So sexual. I mean, I had nothing against it. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I mean, what can you really do and say about what Babyface being involved on any project on anyone's album? I mean, the man got songwriting credits left to right for the longest, and still doing it for
right.
how many years now? I mean, you can't get no better than that. And
Yeah, he's just a living legend. He's a living legend.
mm-hmm.
Now, to many people, this is like the main event, thong song. Okay, where do I begin with this song? This was produced by Sisqo and Tim and Bob.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I first heard this song. I can't remember what age, but I remember it was I think I heard it sometime in the radio, and I just thought it was just one of those novelty kind of songs because at that time, you know, the term thong was really used prominently around that time and everything, and the man really made a whole song about it. You know what I'm saying? And it just always bothered my mind because at first I really did not like the song. I kind of still am mixed about the song too, but it's kind of crazy because ironically, this song was actually the instrumental was actually offered to Michael Jackson and
Say what
everything.
now?
The beat was actually offered to Michael Jackson at first.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which I'm kind of glad he did not pick this beat up.
Yeah. Thank
I'm
God.
very glad because it would not have fit Invincible.
No,
It definitely would not have fit Invincible.
no.
And it's funny too because I think he actually worked with Tim and Bob during the Invincible era. He worked with
Mm.
them and stuff like
Mhm.
that too. And ironically too, this song was also supposed to feature Lil Kim. It was
But
supposed
it
to feature,
didn't.
but it didn't. But they ended up working together on the Notorious K.I.M.'s album, which I did not like that album. To be real with you, I feel like that.
We reviewed that years ago
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah, that was not her best. That was not her best work.
yeah, definitely. And so he actually wrote this song after he went on a date, and while he was about to get it in with the girl, she
Mm,
was you know she had a thong on and everything. So he just made this song and everything like that too. Like
mm,
I said, it definitely was not really my favorite song, but I get why people love this song because it's like a iconic song when it comes
yeah.
to late '90s, early 2000s R&B.
Mhm.
And it's ironic too because it's also a remix that features
Mhm.
Foxy Brown,
Yeah.
which is very ironic. That was on the Nutty Professor 2.
Nutty Professor 2 soundtrack, yeah.
Right. That's crazy. Originally the song was supposed to feature Lil Kim, but the remix featured
Mhm.
Foxy. That's wild as fuck. Like
Mm.
that is wild as fuck. And one more thing I want to say, he actually got legal issue because um towards the end of the song, he uses some lyrics from Ricky Martin's Living La Vida Loca, which
Yeah.
that was another big song at that time too, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And Desmond Child, he actually got a writing credit because he owned the publishing to Living La Vida Loca since he wrote that
Mm.
song. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about Thong Song.
Yeah. Where do I begin with this song? I mean, earlier I mentioned that I either heard this song, on the radio or at a skating rink when I was young, when I was a kid at that time. And of course I remember the remix because my mom has the soundtrack to the Night Professor 2 movie, and and the fact that there was a remix on this that was featured on that, but they didn't put it on this. Now that's wild. Um, I have nothing against the song. I mean, it is what it is. It's a iconic song to this day. The last time I heard this song being played, I was at the Summer Jam concert with my mom almost 3 years ago, and he performed this live.
Oh wow. I remember
Yeah,
you
that was
told
the
me
last
that.
time I heard that song prior to this review. Yeah.
That's crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it definitely is one of those songs that it's a timeless song, but
Yeah.
well, it's yeah, I would say it's timeless, but at the same time, it still has its datedness to it. You know what I'm saying? It still has its datedness to it. So
Yeah, I mean, because of the sound and and the reference to Living La Vida Loca. I mean,
right,
yeah.
all right. Now the next single, and
Mhm.
probably my favorite song on this album,
Mhm.
"Incomplete." Wait, actually, before I go there, I forgot to mention. So, Thong Song was actually, believe it or not, nominated for a few awards. It actually got some Grammy nominations and stuff like that too. But
Mm.
I'm trying to find it, but while I find it, I'm just gonna jump to the next song.
Mm.
Incomplete. Um, very, very, very dope song. Probably my favorite song on this album, and a song that I feel definitely could have been on the what's the album? On like Drew Hill, some of Drew Hill's best works. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the Cisco I like, This is definitely the Cisco I like and everything. So yeah, this was a very dope song.
Yeah, Incomplete. I would say this is another favorite song I like off this album, and I never get tired of hearing it. And the fact that I did not know Montel Jordan wrote this
Yes.
song. I mean, that's still blowing my mind. And then too, like with Montel Jordan, even though he hasn't dropped music in a very long time, I mean, give the man his credit when it comes to songwriting. I mean, He wrote this. He wrote Deborah Cox's "Nobody's Supposed to Be
Ooh,
Here."
I love that Deborah Cox song and shit.
Give the man his credit for that.
Facts.
If by anything else, you may know him for "This Is How We Do It" and his a few TV and movie appearances, and you may not know his songwriting credits, but just give the man his just due, his flowers while he's here.
Definitely.
And
Yeah,
he ended up beating cancer again, so
yes. Yes. His pen game
is
was so
is
crazy
phenomenal.
and everything. So many songs. He also wrote another song that I liked.
Mm,
I'm trying to look it up right now. Um, I can't find it, but fuck it.
mm,
But yeah, I definitely have to agree with you about that. Like his first two albums were my favorite albums from him. Anything after that was hit or miss. I need to get the
mm.
More album. I had an opportunity to get more years ago, but yeah,
I don't think I have that one. I don't think I have that one, and I don't think I have the Get It On Tonight.
yeah, that was solid too. I need to get that one.
Oh wait, you know what? I do got the I think I do got that second album of his.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I've been had it for the last few years.
Okay, okay, got you. Alrighty, now we're gonna. Before I go into the next song, like I said, Thong Song was nominated for a few Grammys and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Best R&B vocal performance. It lost to D'Angelo's Untitled "How Does It Feel," which I'm not
Damn.
surprised. Not surprised. Um, Other nominees was Joe's "I Want to Know," R.
Oh
Kelly's
man.
right, R. Kelly's "I Wish," um,
Oh,
Brian McKnight's "Stay or Let It Go." That was a good category
yeah. Those were some good songs off that you just listed.
for real.
Damn.
It was also nominated for Best R&B Song, but it lost to Destiny's Child "Say My Name," which
Mm.
again, I'm not mad about that. We talked
That was another heavy hitter. That was a song that was in heavy rotation. I
yes,
mean,
the video, the song. I
yeah.
mean, other nominees was Erica Badu's "Bag Lady," Tony
Mm.
Braxton's "He Wasn't Man Enough," and
Yeah,
D'Angelo.
that song was in heavy rotation too.
I remember, and D'Angelo's "Untitled." How does it feel?
Mm.
And I'm just gonna say, Alicia Dragon lost Best R&B Album to D'Angelo's "Voodoo"
Mm.
and stuff. Other nominees was Boyz II Men, Nathan, Michael, Sean Wanier. That was
Oh wow.
okay album. Tony Braxton's "The Heat,"
Damn.
Joe, My Name Is Joe. Ooh,
Mm.
and Jill Scott, Who is Jill Scott? Words and Sounds, Volume One.
Oh wow.
2000 was such a dope year for
Yeah.
R&B. It was not even funny. Oh my
I
god,
know. It was a lot of great stuff came
a
out
lot of
that
great
year.
stuff, man. Oh, we might have to do a top R&B albums of 2000 one day. We might have
Mm.
to.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be hard as fuck. But yeah, incomplete classic song. Track number 10, we got
Addicted.
Addicted. Yes. Oh, I forgot one more thing about incomplete. It was actually, believe it or not, Cisco's version was actually a cover because the original version was by Sam Salter and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Yeah. And they offered it to Cisco, and originally Cisco declined the song originally,
Mm.
but then they told him, "Nigga, you got to sing this song." So that's what happened and shit. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So yeah. Addicted, track 10. This was also produced by both Cisco and Al West. Very dope song and everything like that too. Pretty solid. Um, we've heard this concept "addicted to love." I hate to
Mm-hmm.
mention it, but Jodeci did a song like this a few times. Cough, cough,
Mm.
fiending. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, this was pretty solid.
Mm. I had no issues with Addicted. It was a decent song.
Yeah, very decent song indeed.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Now, track number 11, Drew World Order interlude, dedicated to Drew
Mhm.
Hill.
Mhm.
Um, Nice interlude, paying ode to his roots and everything with his group
Mhm.
members, because at that time people were saying that they were beefing and everything like that. So you know how the media is and
It
everything.
made me sick when they do
Yeah.
that.
Even though
It pissed me off so bad.
there was some tension, it was more of the label trying to make Cisco the
Yeah,
star.
label, not the group itself. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
So
if you're gonna tell like sell news stories or whatever, get your shit right.
period.
Yeah.
But
Stop giving this false narrative that we all know many years later that the artist themselves tells you verbatim that this did not happen. This is not true. That was made up. Like why were y'all still going on and on about it like if it was the freaking truth and it wasn't.
because
Just stupid.
they'll do anything to sell a story.
Yeah,
Right.
clearly.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
Track. Oh, sorry.
Drew Hill. Yeah, my piece about the Drew World Order interlude. It's funny that it's titled that because this was the name of their third album that did not come out until 2002. And
Wow, and that's crazy.
I know it's like y'all were somewhat speaking into fruition before its time. And to me, I felt like this was like a little out of place. To me, I felt like this could have been like if you want to do like a dedication to Drew, y'all could have put he could have put this at the very end of the album. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where it got a little weird for me right here. I mean, I know they played snippets of the past songs that fans know from Drew Hill and everything, like dedicating to all his boys in the group. You know, I liked it, but I felt like this could have been like a way to truly end the album
I'm
instead
not
of
mad
putting
about that.
like almost like pretty much like kind of like second to last.
Yeah, I'm not mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna move on into the next song, Enchanted Passing Through. So this was a song that was actually on Elton John and Tom Rice's concept album called Ada and
Mm.
everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like some Broadway musical kind of thing. And Drew
Oh,
Hill appeared on the concept album. I didn't care for this song too much, to be real with
me
you.
neither.
You can tell they were trying to go for that international crowd and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that too. Um, Elton John is cool, but when it comes to Broadway musicals, it's a certain kind of Broadway style I like, and this one was kind
Mm.
of more theatrical,
Yeah.
like something that belongs in a Disney movie and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah. You just yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that because my thoughts on this song, "Enchantment Passing Through," it felt to me it just felt weird for it to be placed on the album, like pretty much kind of towards the end, and it just felt so out of place to me. It's like you said, this could have been for like a Disney movie soundtrack or Broadway musical in some spaces. Don't get me wrong, I got nothing against Elton John either, so I just felt like this track was just unnecessary.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. However, they made it up for the next song, which is the last song, the "You Are Everything" remix
Mm,
with Ja Rule, which I mentioned this when we did the Into the Drew
mm,
review. Pretty solid remix. You know what I'm saying? Again, this was around the time Ja Rule was breaking to the more mainstream and everything like that too. Because y'all gotta remember, back in the day, he was on the Cash Money click. But
mm,
when Irv Gotti got a deal on Def Jam Records and everything, he
mm,
was doing his best to put Ja Rule on. That's one thing about Irv Gotti I will give it just due. Like the things that he did for like X, J,
mm,
Ja Rule. and everything like that too. Like the things that he was doing for them around that time, Def Jam, when he get him into Def Jam and everything, he was a key ingredient in really making them the successful men that they are and stuff like that too. Y'all don't talk about Irv Gotti when it
Mm.
comes to that and everything. So, but yeah, but you know, Ja Rule's real breakthrough was of course when he was on Jay Z's "Can I Get a" and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this remix was pretty solid. He did his thing on this one.
To be honest, I really wasn't feeling this remix at all. Don't get me wrong. I got nothing against Ja Rule or anything. I just could have done without it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not mad about that. Definitely, I'm not.
Mhm.
All right. So overall, when it comes to Cisco's album of Unleash the Dragon, I'm not gonna hold you. I actually like the album a bit more, a little bit more than I did back in the day. To be real with you, you know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
definitely a fun party album. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely Cisco's coming out party, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? As far as like he picked the right song that definitely balanced his voice and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? Some songs I admit I could have done without. Like again, I didn't care for Thong Song. I didn't care for that, but eh, eh, like a good portion of the album, you would definitely enjoy it and everything. I feel like this is the perfect bridge between Enter the Drew and then when it comes to the Jew World Order album, which again we'll talk about that much later. But
Mhm.
scale of the mics, I'm gonna give it a four out of five mics. Very solid.
Mm. Yeah. Even though it's been a very long time since I even listened to this album, it had some tracks that I liked and others that were somewhat decent, or and at least two that I really didn't care too much for. But it wasn't an entirely bad album. Unleash the Dragon. I felt that I want to say like getting towards like the tail end of the album. I felt like the album could have ended off and on a good note with the Drew World Order interlude. That's just my opinion. And I could have done without the last two tracks, the Enchantment Passing Through and the You Are Everything remix. But overall it was a solid album, so I also give it a 4 out of 5.
Definitely. And I do have his second solo album, Return of the Dragon. I actually got a promo copy of it, so we'll talk about that one
Oh wow.
probably within the next 2 weeks because I gotta plan out these DJ gigs and everything. So I'll let you
Mm.
know about that. But
Alright.
yeah, before we get to Drew World Order, we have to do that one, which I do have Drew World Order too. But
Mm.
that's an album where we have a lot to say. But
Mm.
other than that,
Yeah, I don't think I plan on copping that one. I just still got their first two albums, and I'm content with that.
yeah, I actually got Drew World Order for free and
Oh,
everything. Well, not Drew. Wait, what is that the one? Yeah, Drew World Order for free because it was part of a CD lot and stuff
oh,
like that too. So I just kept it and everything like that too. I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. And I think that was the first Drew Hill album I actually got in my collection.
oh well. Yeah, I think when the third album, Drew World Order, to me, I think there was so much going on, and then them adding new people into the group and trying to change like I guess like the dynamic of the group or whatever you might have you.
Right.
That just didn't sit well with me.
Nah, I feel you on that. I definitely feel you because yeah, that whole era, like that whole era, you can just tell they were just
It
trying to play.
was not the same. It was not the same.
Yeah, that was a catch up era, if you ask me.
Yeah, because it's like, why not have just the four guys like the core group instead of just adding all these new people coming in and out of the group? I'm like,
Right.
1 minute you start off with a 4 member group, and then you got a 5 member group, and now you're what, at least up to like 7 people at this point.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
it just don't make no sense. Like I can't keep up.
Alright. Other than that, I'm actually gonna end this off right here because I'm actually got to get me some dinner and everything like that too. But appreciate this so much, Ash. For this, appreciate it. Um, this album, I want to say this album's out of print, but
Mm,
it's not too expensive. You can still find
right.
like, ironically, I don't even have the album, but I've seen the album for like less than $8 and stuff like that too. I won't pay anything
Yeah.
more than $10. I'll be real with you, like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I could find it on Amazon or at this spot called Second and Charles that's up the street from where I live.
dope, dope. Yeah. Depending on how this weather is, I may go see buy some CDs and stuff like that. Cause I know it's gonna rain a lot tomorrow
Mm.
and stuff. So we'll
Yeah, it's
see.
supposed to rain and it's supposed to be cold tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Why is it cold in May?
That's what I'm not understanding. I'm like, it's supposed to be freaking spring. Like, I thought we were supposed to be done with the cold weather at this point.
Man, this morning I had some of the best sleep I haven't had in weeks because it was cold outside. I was off.
Mm,
I looked out the window. I was like, oh my god, it's so cold. I thought I was gonna have to go to work this morning, but then I was off. I'm off until Sunday.
mm,
I'm like, look at that, look at God,
mm.
look at God. But appreciate this, Ashley, and thank y'all so much for watching. Shout out to everybody. Y'all make sure y'all follow, subscribe, follow us on IG, and we'll see y'all people later. Peace.
Peace.